Voice acting is a profession, which is the reason that why a lot of our favorite video game characters were given life. Without voice actors, the characters which we love, with whom we made a lot of memories and which made our experience with gaming remarkable, would have never existed. I have even made a dedicated video on this topic before, in which I explained this profession in detail and even discussed this profession's importance in the gaming industry. But unfortunately, the profession of voice acting is facing a great danger in the gaming industry. A while ago, I made a video in which I talked about AI's usage in the development of video games, in which I concluded that the use of AI in the making of games is right as long as it is being used like a tool. That is, if the people working as software engineers are using an AI program to speed up things which require really complex programming in order to avoid unnecessary hard work, because it's an ethical way to avoid time-consuming methods, but it should only be used as a tool. I also said in that video that AI should not replace artists, writers, character designers and other professions which include creativity, because these things cannot be replaced with a machine or a computer. In music production, however, it should only be used like a tool if a studio doesn't got enough budget to afford musical instruments, equipments and other expensive softwares. So it is okay if small studios are using AI as a tool in music production, but it should be avoided by big companies because there's absolutely no reason for them to do so. But sadly, this is now happening with our voice actors of the gaming industry. If you have watched this video of mine, then you may know that I said in that video that Sophia of Plague Tale Requiem was first attempted to be voiced by an AI. This may sound fake, but Anna Dimitriou, voice actress of Sophia herself, confirmed this in her Twitch livestream, where she was playing Plague Tale Requiem with Amicia's voice actress, Charlotte McBurney. Anna said that they had to replace the AI with her because the AI failed to give an actual performance, which is completely obvious because AI cannot put emotions into a fictional character and make it look and feel alive. But a human being can. Now, I am not a voice actor. Even if VAs do get replaced by AI, then it won't affect my life in any way. But I am a gamer. All the games which I have played till now and which I have wholeheartedly enjoyed wouldn't have been possible if these voice actors didn't work on them. Emotional and heart-touching games are impossible without the contribution of voice actors. So as a gamer, it is my responsibility to stand with these voice actors during these times. Ashley Burch, the voice actress of Aloy and Chloe Price, she speaks in support for women and other minorities on her social media platforms. She is also a great actress along with a voice actress, and she represents the gaming industry on the global level. But she, along with a lot of voice actors, is on a strike because of the unconsensual use of AI and digital replicas.
You gotta understand this part to understand the rest of the proposals. First, our union's proposal. In our union's view, a digital replica is a digital model used to generate new performance using AI technology based on your voice, movement, or face. That means anytime a company wants to replicate a performer in any way, we're talking voice, movement, or facial expressions here, they have to follow these 3 rules. 1, the performer must be told how the employer wants to use their digital replica, and then how they actually use it. 2, the performer must give consent. 3, the performer must receive fair compensation. Now, the employer's proposal. The employer's definition of a digital replica has like 1,000 caveats. Their first requirement: The generated performance has to be readily identifiable and attributable to the performer. That means the character would need to look, move, and sound exactly like you, the actor, in order for you to be protected. Anytime you sound or move differently than you do in real life, or you play a character that doesn't look like you, you don't qualify for protections. The second condition, a replica is of a specific individual. That means there has to be one person creating one character. So if you do the voice for a character, and then your friend Susie does the movement for that character, and your other friend Matt is the likeness for that character, none of you would be protected. I don't know about you, but I have never met any of these criteria in any game that I have ever worked. And finally, the employer has to see you as a performer in the first place. Some of our employers don't see movement as performance, which is bullshit. Our union protects performers, and that includes movement performers. Our performances may be captured as data, but it is a performance going in and a performance going out. Their argument is as dumb as saying, that's not performance, it's celluloid. Or, that's not a song, it's vinyl. This argument only exists to deny union protections.
Those idiots are also saying to the VAs that motion capturing is not worthy enough to be called a real performance. The employers have also proposed to use digital replicas of VAs without their consent. And they have also said that they won't pay the VAs even after using their digital replicas in the trailers and promos of video games. But the proposal which the Union of VAs have presented is the exact opposite to the employer's proposal.
Our union's proposal. An employer must give you the following information in order to get your consent. All of the info that you currently get when you're hired. For example, the code name of the game, whether it's part of a franchise, if you're reprising a role, and if there will be profanity, violence, or sexual situations, etc. Whether your digital replica will be used to generate dialogue that is offensive, religious, or endorses a political position. They must notify and negotiate with you and our union for procedurally generated dialogue. Procedurally generated dialogue means any performance that is generated in real time. So a player could talk to your character 1,000 times and never hear a line repeated. The company would have to tell you and SAG AFTRA if they are using a system like this before you give your consent. Finally, the employer must tell you if your voice will be blended with any other voice to make a digital replica. And once you have all of this information, you can decide whether or not you consent. Now, for the employer's proposal. They've agreed to give the same information as you get when you're hired, just like our union's proposal. They've also agreed to tell you if your digital replica will be used for procedurally generated dialogue. But they want to cut out the union and its army of lawyers and experts to prevent them from negotiating on your behalf. They will not tell you if your digital replica will be used to generate performance that is offensive, religious, or endorses a political position. Which means that your digital replica could do or say something racist, give a sermon for the Church of Satan, or endorse Garfield for president. Good if you're pro lasagna, bad otherwise. Performers have different comfort levels, and they should have the right to make decisions based on their values. This is a right we currently have. The employers want to take that away with their proposal. And finally, the employers don't want to tell you if your performance has been blended with any other performance. This is real bad. Because according to their proposal, blending your performance with another actor's performance would exclude you from any AI protections.
First, the union's proposal. Your consent for an employer to use a digital replica of you is suspended during any strike action. That means that your digital replica cannot be used to generate performance in a video game during a strike of the IMA. It's pretty simple. If we go on strike, they can't use a digital version of you to replace you. Now the employers proposal, your consent for an employer to use your digital replica is only suspended during a strike if a game starts production after the IMA is terminated in advance of a strike. That probably sounds like gobbledygook, so let's break it down. Any game that started production before the strike can continue to use your digital replica and never feel the effects of a strike. In addition, if your digital replica is being used for procedurally generated dialogue, the employer can continue to use your replica during a strike, even in a struck game. Yikes. Let's be clear, strikes are a last resort for a union. But let's say, I don't know, the employer wants to replace you with robots. That would be a good reason for a strike. And strikes are the most effective tool a union has. The employers are basically saying, hey, we want to make it so that you'll never have any leverage or power over us ever again, because we'll just have your replica scab as you while you hold the line.
Like anyone else, the employer can use GAI systems to create synthetic performances. So rather than saying employers can't use this tech, our union is proposing some common sense protections. In our proposal, the performer must consent, and they must be paid no less than scale before their name or a name of a character that they have played is used to prompt a GAI system. Basically, no employer would be able to prompt a GAI system with, let's say, America's Sweetheart Jennifer Hale or Female Commander Shepard to create a synthetic performance without first getting Jennifer's consent and paying her. Also in our proposal is that if the employer makes a character that looks, sounds, or moves like you have the right to ask for a report that lays out all the prompts that they put into the GAI system to make that character. This report helps the union to figure out if the employer was using a GAI system so that they could get around your digital replica rights and protections. The employer would also have to send a report to the union within 90 days of the game's completion that outlines all of the characters that were either partially or completely made with GAI systems. This lets the union analyze the impact on member jobs to find out if fewer members were higher than before. And if that is the case, we can bargain that in the future with the data to back us up. Now, the employer's proposal. Performers must consent and be paid no less than scale before their name can be used to prompt a GAI system to create any kind of performance. Hey, that kind of sounds like our proposal. But wait, there's bullshit. There's nothing in that proposal that stops them from prompting a GAI system with the name of a character that you are uniquely associated with in order to make a synthetic performance. So in English, that means they couldn't put in Jennifer Hale, but they could put in Female Commander Shepard, or Naomi Hunter, or Silver Sable, or any other character that Jennifer Hale has played in order to get around those protections that we're proposing and create a synthetic performance without having to pay Jennifer and without having to get her consent at all. In short, there are as many loopholes in these AI protections as there are characters that Jennifer Hale has played. And that's a Guinness World Record. The union's proposal. SAG AFTRA says any time that your digital replica is used, you should be paid. Period. This includes scratch and other placeholder performance. Now, the employer's proposal. They only want to pay you if your performance is going into the commercially released version of the game. That means if they use your digital replica for things like scratch, placeholder performance, betas, trailers, and promos, they don't have to pay you. They also want to use your digital replica to make changes to your performance as long as it doesn't change the fundamental character of that performance. But what does fundamental character mean? Nothing. They won't define it. So it means whatever they want it to mean. There's no way for our union to enforce or litigate language like that. So that means that the employer could, in theory, change 80% of your performance and go, no. That last 20% that we didn't change, that's really the fundamental character of your performance. So that 80% that we changed, don't worry about it. We're not going to pay you for it because we didn't do anything to the fundamental character. I don't know about you, but I don't like it.
Now, if you call yourself a gamer, then it is your duty to stand with the union of voice actors, because without them, yours and mine favorite characters would have never existed. They were possible because of the hard work and dedication of the voice actors. You can start by subscribing to Game Performance Matters YouTube channel, which is the official channel of the SAG AFTRA union. You should also follow these VAs on their socials, and if possible, then please make posts about it as much as possible. So these are the things which you can do from your side in order to stand with the voice actors. So these are the things which you can do in order to stand with the voice actors. I only hope this video reaches the masses so that they can realize the true importance of the voice actors of the gaming industry. And I hope you all liked this video, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care and bye bye.